Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So get ready. More trouble ahead for the U.S. So what's causing the trouble? Well, let's talk about it tonight, and let's talk about, of course, Bitcoin and everything else that's going on in the world. Let's do it. Welcome, guys. Hopefully you guys are having a good one. You know what? Today was actually not a bad day. U.S. market was green. But tomorrow looks like, no, it's reversing, going to red. I mean, just look at this, right? How can you not be fearful of this right now and this right now? I mean, these are bad news. Consumer debt passes $17 trillion. $17 trillion. You know how many people live paycheck to paycheck? Not only that, how many people are just racking up their debt? This is the type of debt that you don't want. Credit card debt, okay? But this is encompassing more, not just credit card debt, but also everything else like your mortgage and your cars, whatever it may be. But that's a lot. That's a lot of debt, right? And you will look at this and say, well, this is not good. People are irresponsible with their money. They spend more than what they make. That's why they have debt, right? Well, it's no different than the U.S. government. And I'm not saying that as a good thing. That should not be the case. But you think about it, this U.S. debt ceiling, it's exactly like a credit card. It's a credit limit. And we are at the limit, and we cannot operate without raising the limit. It's the same thing as if you called Amex and say, hey, I hit my limit, even though most Amex have no limits, but pretend they do. You're like, hey, I'm at my 20,000 limit. I need a little more leeway. Let me, bump it up to 30,000 or 40,000 or 50,000. That's exactly what it is, but in the trillions. Our U.S. deficit, our ceilings at like 31 trillion, and we're out of money, and we need a lifeline. So that's what this is all about. Now, Janet Yellen been screaming about this. I don't know, it's exaggerated. I don't think she's really screaming about this, but she confirms that June 1st could be the day that we run out of money. Okay, she's been warning about June 1st. Basically saying, hey, we need to raise our debt ceiling. If we don't, then we can't print more money. And if we don't print more money, guess what? Well, then we can't pay back our obligations. I've been talking about this for quite some time, but it's still the biggest news right now. We got 2 more weeks. June 1st, the U.S. is out of money. We may default, and it's just as bad as this. You know, people, you got a lot of financial gurus and people that are talking about how, consumers are irresponsible with their money. But what about a whole country irresponsible with their money, right? Why are we not fixing this? Why are we not tackling this as a country? This is the very reason why Bitcoin was created. Because of distrust in governments, distrust in banks, distrust in the whole system that's basically broken, fundamentally broken, and no one seems to want to fix it, right? That's the thing. And you know what this leads to? Even most likely this will be resolved because no one wants to default and no one wants Armageddon, and just leads to more printing and printing and printing and printing. You know what's going to lead to someday? This. Argentina's interest rate is now at 97% because they have no choice. Their inflation is so bad. You know, our inflation is bad, but when it comes to Argentina and some of the other countries out there, their inflation is so bad that their central bank has to raise their interest rate to close to 100%. That's not going to solve things, but this is what happens when a government is irresponsible with its money. And it seems like the U.S. can never be in this position. There's many people in the U.S. that will say, this is nonsense. U.S. will never be like this. The U.S. dollar will never be like this, right? But if you think about it, this is where we're heading to. This irresponsible spending of money leads to irresponsible printing of money, which leads to artificially high inflation. It's really that simple, right? So this is the reason why the U.S. is in trouble. We're faced with this situation where Powell is trying to decrease inflation, right? Yet, fundamentally, the country keeps generating more money that causes more inflation. See, they're counterintuitive, right? That's why the U.S. is in trouble. Major trouble ahead. And you know what else is trouble? This is the first time I've seen hedge fund dumping the large banks. And this is one of the biggest hedge funds in the world. Bridgewater Associates, okay, and most of you guys know Ray Dalio. They have dumped literally all their banking stocks. That tells you something, okay? We heard of the small regional banks that's having problems. Bridgewater dumped almost all of it because they do not like the way things are going. This is labeled wrong, but this should be backwards. Basically, in Q4 2022, they had about 700,000 shares of JP Morgan, 62,000 Morgan Stanley, 3.2 million Bank of America, 101,000 Goldman Sachs, 1.3 million in Citigroup, and then 1.7 million of Wells Fargo. And again, this is reverse. So now Q1 of 2023, they decreased Citigroup by half, and everything else they have dumped to zero, not even a little bit. Okay, and most people consider Ray Dalio one of the smartest men of Wall Street. And if Bridgewater is getting rid of their bank stocks, that tells you trouble's probably ahead. Okay, so that's something else to consider. That the banks, they're not doing so hot right now, right? And if the economy really slides further in recession later this year, well, it's going to be worse for them unless the Fed bails them out. And what does that lead to? More printing. What does that lead to? Us hitting the debt ceiling again. And what does that lead to? High inflation, right? So it's like it's a never-ending cycle. Just keeps on going. Going and going and going, right? That's why, someone like Paul Tudor Jones is like, Bitcoin is the only things humans can't adjust the supply in, right? Because with everything else out there, with all the fiats, you can always type in more zeros in a computer and voila, you got more money, right? But you can't do that with Bitcoin. No one can control it. This is why the governments are now really fearful of Bitcoin, because it may actually be a threat, right? This was not a threat 4 years ago. In 2017, that cycle, no one considered Bitcoin a threat. But now countries are starting to realize that people are paying attention. Bitcoin is getting stronger. And there's this notion that maybe Bitcoin can actually overthrow fiat and can become the world's currency. That's starting to scare a lot of countries. Starting to scare a whole bunch of people like Gary Gensler too, right? But it's happening. It's happening because it's the greatest asset, greatest digital currency, greatest network, however you want to define Bitcoin, that we have today. It's really that simple, right? So don't be discouraged by volatility, short-term movements, whether we dump or pump. I mean, there's a lot of movement within a cycle, right? This zooms out, showing you the previous halvings, previous cycles, and it may look like it's very smooth lines going up and down, right? No, we get a lot of this before we find that new top, and then we find a new bottom, right? But every single time, we kind of form the same kind of pattern, And this person's arguing we're right around there before we break through that price equilibrium and kind of level out before, boom, the halving event comes, and then we get that next parabolic rise, right? So where we go settle, 30, 40, 50,000 for that price equilibrium before we shoot up. This time, anywhere from 100, 150, 200, 250, 500,000. It's looking like Bitcoin is still moving on track, right? Here's a more complicated one, but this just shows you when you actually zoom in, right? And you look at all the up and downs, there's a lot of them. Every cycle, there's a lot of them, right? It's never just a straight up. A lot of dips, a lot of up and downs, right? And we're starting to see that right now. So again, this is normal. This is normal. We're moving according to how Bitcoin has moved forever, like according to previous cycles, right? So stay strong. Don't be discouraged. It might be boring. It might be scary. It might be fuddish, right? But ultimately, Bitcoin is still on track. And let's not forget the growing fundamentals as well, okay? So I wanted to lead off with that. What else is there? Well, what about the second largest cryptocurrency out there, Ethereum? Ethereum supply on exchanges dropped to all-time low, basically going all the way back to when Ethereum first started trading publicly, okay? That's how low it is. Back to July of 2015. Think about that. Ethereum supply is now back to the level when it basically started trading. So the burning mechanism definitely working. Staking definitely working. You combine everything else that's happening, it's really working, right? So this dream of Ethereum becoming deflationary is starting to happen right in front of our eyes. But here's the thing. Why has price not caught up yet? Well, sometimes it just takes some time, right? But again, supply and demand. Demand keeps on increasing for ERC-based 20 tokens, okay? On top of Ethereum. Layer 2s are getting very popular, but still all using ETH as gas. So it's just, if you think about it, you put two and two together, well, if there's so much usage on Ethereum, the price has to follow, right? Especially when the supply is going down. That's exactly what's happening. That's crazy. That's crazy if you think about it, right? So this is what it looks like. Basically, the supply is dumping. Well, I mean, my camera covered it up, but you get my point, right? But why is this happening? Well, outside of the burning, you have a lot of liquid staking providers like Lido and Rocket Pool, right? They're all soaring because now you get the benefit of staking and getting a reward, but you also get a benefit of having a synthetic token, which you can use for more yield if you wanted to, right? So it's like double the yield. And it's getting very, very popular. So not only can you natively stake Ethereum, which is growing now, but also you can stake in these liquidity providers, which then allows you to basically make even more yield. And that's why Ethereum's supply on exchanges is plummeting, because people are realizing I could do something with my Ethereum. I don't have to just hold it there. I could actually earn some real yield natively or through these decentralized projects, not to be confused with centralized projects like Celsius and Voyagers of the world, where they actually lent out your Ethereum, right? That's not the case here. That's not the case. This is actually used in a decentralized manner. And, you know, with both of these, Lido upgraded recently, so they allow you to unstake their synthetic ETH really easily. That's great. But also Rocket Pool, right, made it cheaper to stake. I mean, both of these guys are exploding. Awesome. Awesome. So don't give up on Ethereum either. Supply is all-time low. All-time low. That's great. What else is great is this Gala upgrade. So many people have been asking me about, what's going on with Gala? What's going to happen after the V2 and this and that, right? Well, Jason from Gala said that, hey, just wanted to let you all know the snapshot has worked well, and we are currently verifying the integrity of the list and getting everyone in line to proceed with the minting steps. We'll be here to keep you updated, and we'll have the whole live stream later today to share some pretty cool news. So I think there is some confusion. Today is not the day for the airdrop. Today was just a day for the snapshot. That's what it appears like. So as long as you have your Gala in a wallet that's basically not Coinbase, because I think Coinbase is the only exchange that said they were not supporting the airdrop. But still, nevertheless, maybe, you know, the snapshot probably still occurred, right? Maybe Gala will figure out a way. If you have your Gala on your Gala V1 tokens on Coinbase, maybe the snapshot will allow you to be airdropped in another wallet. I don't know. I don't know if that's even a possibility, but I'm just saying that this is a snapshot, so they know who owns what. And then I guess we'll get more information on when the airdrop is actually going to happen. Okay. And then lastly, for you degens, here's a Pepe update, up a little bit today. And the other one, Milady, I think that's how you say it, was up, but now it's down. So there you go for you degens. A little meme coin update. As for Bitcoin, 27,000, a little bit lower than this morning, about the same, right? And we got a couple of days away from Bitcoin 2023 conference. That's it. All right, let's do some Q&A. All right. Scrolling down. Texas tourist, thank you. Turkey, yeah, Turkey suffers from hyperinflations as well. China's retail sales jumped 18% as data continues to portray uneven recovery. Interesting. I don't know. I wouldn't trust any of those economic data out of China. It seems all manipulated. But then again, the U.S. ones could be manipulated too to fit whatever narrative. So I don't know. Glitch just says I found 8,000 BTC. Well, if that's the case, maybe you could send me, you know, like 100, you know, that would be appreciated. Someone says I still think Solana still better. Better than what? Better than what? Why does CMC show 123 million supply ETH till now is 120 million? I don't know. CMC is not 100% accurate, just so you know. What do you think about Chain GBT? McDaniel's never heard of it. You know, a lot of projects are just putting GBT in their name, thinking that it's going to help them pump, but oh, I don't know. That's not the case. Chain GBT. Very, very small market cap. Came out recently. Create a smart token for a token named Ethereum. The robot looks cool. You know, this should have been a meme coin. If this was a meme coin with this robot, it would have been cool. ChainGPT has helped me and my team speed up our working process by 125%. You know, I can't trust like quotes like this because who said that? Like, it doesn't even state who said that. I don't know. Seems to be an ecosystem of AI products. Yeah. Are you interested in our AI model? Obtain the CGPT tokens. And then there's a paid plan. There's a freemium. I'm going for now. I'm going to say it's a little gimmicky, a little hard to understand what they're all about. And this robot would have been really nice if it was like a meme coin. So I'm just going to say that for now. Oh, and then token economics is horrible. Look at the circulating supply. Only 9% out of the max. I don't know why that is. Why are you even talking about debt, George? They already said they will raise the debt ceiling. No one said that yet, JB. That's false news. That's fake news. So they will raise it, but they didn't announce they will raise it yet. Because otherwise, we wouldn't have this crisis going on. ChatGPT increased my efficiency 9,000%. If only. If only. What happened to Robinhood? Why is everyone talking about Robinhood? Is there like a problem with Robinhood right now? Let's pull a Robinhood. Here we go. We're experiencing a system issue that may affect the display of your portfolio value. We are working on a solution. Basically, if it shows 0, don't be worried. They didn't spend it. Hopefully. Well, that's what's... Okay, so I know it's surprising a lot of you guys are on Robinhood. You may want to just look at a better wallet. You know, sheep contract is locked and unmanipulatable. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Last time I was looking at Sheep's wallet and some of these other wallets, I didn't realize that some of the big holders are actually exchanges like Binance and stuff. So just want to clarify that. I have $900 in Robinhood. I don't know why. I don't know. Move it. Do I like VeChain? Yes. What do you think about Ryan and Mara? They're mining companies. When Bitcoin does well, they pump up really a lot. When Bitcoin doesn't do well, they dump a lot. So they're very, very volatile as stocks. Right? If you catch it right, you can make a lot of money with options, but if you catch it wrong, you can lose a lot of money too. Will you be able to stake Milady coin? I don't know. I have no idea. You know, when meme coins start adding utility, that's kind of like when it loses memeness and then it probably stops. Like Sheep didn't add utility until they were multi-billion dollars. But they have been getting pretty weak recently. Doge still has no utility. So I don't know. You know, like something like Pepe or Milady, if they don't, you know, it could be fine that they don't add any utility. But if they start adding it, maybe it actually turns people off. Sammy, I don't know if you're saying that in a fun manner or you're trying to troll, but I'm going to put you in timeout. Just to be sure. Robinhood and Coinbase listing Pepe very soon. I think Robinhood probably would do it. Coinbase, probably not. Gemini did it. So, I mean, they feel like, you know, the SEC is not going to attack them for it, but maybe they're wrong. I could see Robinhood doing it. They built their whole model based on Doge. So, yeah. Is Cetify legit? Never heard of them. Never heard of them. They sound familiar. Is it like a wallet? Cetify. Launchpad? Staking Launchpad? Okay. Not familiar with them. They sound vaguely familiar, but not familiar. Chainlink will be gigantic. I don't doubt that. The sheep contract locked. That's why bone gas token. Okay. Thanks for sharing, Jeremy. All the smart contracts are locked. Most of the contracts are locked. I don't know what point you're trying to get across. Trying to say that SHIB is awesome. I don't disagree. I think SHIB is awesome. I like SHIB more than Doge because I think it has more utility. But I still don't like the triple token concept. And like I said, when a meme coin adds utility, does that mean it stops being a meme coin? I don't know. Lakers Celtics finals. It's gonna be tough for Lakers, but Lakers are. I think Lakers are set to win. I think LeBron's gonna win his fifth, right? As long as they can contain Tatum, because Tatum just went on fire. Okay, and that's because Embiid and 76ers, they just Harden and Embiid just kind of gave up, and Tatum went caught on fire. Tatum and Brown are both really good, but the one you need to contain is Tatum. So if LeBron and AD switches off on Tatum, and they're both big enough and long enough to guard Tatum, maybe they could slow him down. If they could slow him down, everyone else is okay. You know, the rest of the Lakers team could handle everyone else. But it's Tatum that I'm worried about. It's not going to be Nuggets in 6. It'll be Lakers in 6. You got that reversed. I think AD is going to be a good matchup for Jokic. Jeremy, no, it doesn't. I'm going to argue no, it doesn't. You don't need 3 tokens. Very, very little crypto has 3 tokens. You could do it with 2. $82 soft for Jokic. That could be true. That is probably true. That's why they needed Dwight Howard. I don't know why they didn't retain Howard. Howard was pretty good at banging away against Jokic, but Howard's just a little too old. But he's dominating Taiwan right now. Patrick, appreciate that. Pepe is love right here. All right, guys. Let's conclude. U.S. in deep, deep trouble. Trouble ahead. Yeah, that's what this and this and this are all indicating. That's no good. That's no good at all, right? And all this is leading to this, which is also no good. That's why we need Bitcoin, right? We need something that countries and banks and evildoers can't just press some buttons and create more or mint more, right? That's why Bitcoin is awesome and the best. So stick with it. Stay strong, my friends. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.